Hi folks, this is John Lutz, Director of IT here at Wiser. Today I want to talk to you briefly about some data collection tools that you might find helpful. There's lots of different options out there. A good place to start is Google Forms at forms.google.com. There's lots of options that they have for assessment points on here, so checkboxes, multiple choice, things like that. It's very easy to use, very easy to get started with. And when you've got your form, looks pretty good on there. It's clean design, it's easy to use and manipulate. All of this data then gets dumped into Google Spreadsheets. So each entry, each form submission in there gets put into a line on a resultant spreadsheet that you have, in addition to a bunch of other tools that you've got kind of at your disposal for being able to use that. So it's really nice, it's clean, it's easy, and one of the nicest points about it is it's free with your Google account. If you need to have something more sophisticated, you can move up to something like SurveyMonkey, which has lots of different options and lots of different tools with it. Lots of different ways to analyze the data in there, but it does come with a literal cost. SurveyMonkey isn't cheap, but it is really, really good to be able to use for data collection, and its real strength is the analysis end. If you're part of a larger institution, you may have something already that's going to give you the power of SurveyMonkey, but you might not need to pay for it. So talk to your IT folks about the data collection possibilities. For us here at Wiser, Qualtrics is what we have to use as part of this. So Qualtrics is a data collection tool and an analysis tool built into one, very similar to SurveyMonkey, but for PIT folks, it's free. So it has no cost associated with it, but is really pretty powerful. So you may have a very similar thing with your institution as well. One of the issues, though, is these data collection tools have some limitations to them. One of the limitations is that they don't allow us to record a timestamp for when somebody's done something. And this obviously is something that is a pretty big deal in simulation circles. We want to know when somebody has actually done a particular task or has done a particular event on there. So what we ended up doing here at Wiser is we've created our own tool for that. So we call it the Event Logging Application, or ELA for short. And it's got a lot of the same tools that you have for any sort of web data collection on there. Pull downs and checkboxes and things like that. Even has some things like some sliders and things that you can use for that. But its real strength is in these timing buttons that we've got. We've got a couple of different versions in there. One is a timer button that's just going to be one and done. So if we click it once, it's going to record that particular time. But for some events that we want to record, we really want to record that last time that something was done. So for this particular button, if we click it multiple times, the timestamp that it's going to record is going to be the last time that this was clicked. And then obviously sometimes other options is we want to be able to collect every single time that somebody did something. So this is actually a button that is collecting every single timestamp for that. And we can have the buttons laid out like this, or we can put them into a grid formation if we want to be able to group them together within certain things. And then very similar to what we have for Google Forms, we also dump the data into a Google spreadsheet. So each line that we have here is an entry in our ELA. And from that, again, we can do some pretty basic spreadsheet type things. We develop scores for that, rank folks, do some pretty basic averaging or things like that for it. But we can also be a lot more sophisticated about some of our analysis as well. So if we wanted to analyze timestamps and see the order that somebody has done something, we can do that. If we want to do time differences between things, the number of times something was clicked, we can do that as well. In addition, Google has a very sophisticated scripting language behind it. We can do some really sophisticated analysis on the data set that we have in there. This requires a little bit more skill to be able to do this, but it is extremely powerful. One of the things that we do with this quite often is we'll create customized emails to the individuals that we've done the assessments on. So this is an example of an email that would go out to this individual, giving them their overall score, but also giving them the individual assessment points on it, where they need to improve a little bit, including any comments that were collected in the ELA with them on there. So, and this can all be done with a single click of the button that will send out 100 emails to it. This happens to be one of the pharmacy classes that we have that has 115 students in it. And for the course director, all they need to do is click a button and it sends out emails to all of the students, customized for them based upon the assessments that they were given. So as you can see, there's lots of options for you out here, everything from very simple types of data collection to more sophisticated to custom. And hopefully what we've been able to show you here is some options that will work for you. And as always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to contact us at wiserhelp@upmc.edu.